What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar with C-Zar Gets Crypto, and we are talking about HZEN and BCHG today. We can talk about Litecoin, LTCN too. I'll do that a little bit, but we're not going to do TA too much on BCHG. I want to run some math on it. But first, HZEN at the request of Soya Sauce. I do think we're going lower. Probably going to go to around $1, a little bit above it, a little bit below it. That's where your low to high 382 is. I think you go a little bit lower. That's my genuine opinion. I'm going to move on from there because I do want to talk about BCHG. J-Boy, or J-Guy, you were asking me why I believed, in one video I was talking about BCHG going all the way up to $1,500, right? And yesterday's video I was saying, I don't know if that's going to happen. And the reason for that is, yesterday I was looking at the price and I'm like, damn, man, from low to there, that's a 486x. To me, that just sounds unreasonable. It really does, and I'm looking at BCHG here and seeing, but it might not be unreasonable. It really might not be. I'm going to go over why. BCHG here, Monday, 14th December 2020. Go to BCH USD here. On this right here, I have it pointed out. So BCHG topped off here when BCH was running up way higher, right? So it topped off there. So in my head, I'm thinking, if BCH, by the end of this cycle, if I'm thinking it can pull a 100x from its current price, not even a 100x actually from its current price. Maybe it does, but probably, probably somewhere around 22, 23K is what I think the maximum could be. Okay, well right now that's a 90x at $22,000. If BCHG or BCH pulls a 90x at its high, if we use what we saw from last cycle, we could assume that BCHG might not actually continue to grow as BCH finds its high. It might not. At which point, maybe instead of, like, just for reference's sake, low to where the high was on that month, that was 420% out of a total 2,142% move. Maybe BCHG is only relevant for the first 20x, maybe something like that. And what I'm trying to get to is, if Bitcoin Cash does a 20x, BCHG doing a near 500x to me just sounds ridiculous, right? In that same amount of time. But I'm running the math, man. I like to pride myself on math, and I'm not sure I'm doing it right. So please, somebody correct me if I'm wrong. But I want to run some numbers with you guys here, okay? Like I said, man, I'm pretty good at math, and I think that what I'm coming up with is correct, but I'm not 100% sure. Okay, so bear with me. We're going to do this together. And for any mathematical minds out there, I encourage you, please correct me if I'm wrong, because to me this just sounds ridiculous, but maybe it's not. But here, no, not on the monthly, on the weekly, BCHG closed at $55.25. Okay. Got this in a calculator here. I've got all these little things that I've been doing, but $55.25. I already did this math, or no, I'm sorry, we're not going to do that. We're going to do Bitcoin Cash, BCH. Okay, Bitcoin Cash. I know, I'm sorry, I'm all over the place, but Bitcoin Cash that same week was on a closing basis was worth 349.24. There is this many BCHs per share of BCHG. Okay, so if I took the total of BCH, right, which is 349.24, that was the price. Bear with me. I know, man. I know numbers are hard, but I'm going to try to show you where I'm coming from. Right, this is the closing price on the high of the day that BCHG found its all-time highs, or not the day, the week. Sorry, was at 349.24. That was the closing period. Okay, we take that number, we multiply it by this, and then we should get the price per share of BCHG, right? That makes sense to me. Okay, so we take 349 times 0.00863186, and that should have been the price for BCHG, right? That's the cost per shares, right? But the thing is, if you remember, is BCHG was worth $55. Like, that's a humongous. Am I doing this wrong? Is my math wrong? Like, I'm trying to wrap my head around this. I don't think I'm wrong, because I did this another way too to like make sure I'm doing this right. You know, if there's this many shares of BCH 861396, what was it? 863186. 863186. Okay, there's that many shares of Bitcoin Cash per share of BCHG. That's what that is. There's this many Bitcoin Cashes for every one BCHG share. Okay, and you were to divide this by 1. Just bear with me. You divide that by 1, you get this. No. I'm sorry. That's wrong. You're supposed to do 1 divided by. I always get the division backwards, man. 8863,186. Because what this is doing is we're going to find the number that you have to multiply this number to get 1 share of Bitcoin Cash, if that makes sense. So you get that number, okay? And then you multiply that number times the number of what BCHG should have costed. That was 3014 times 3.014, 5907864. You get the exact number that the cost of Bitcoin Cash was. That, you know, so like I feel like the math checks out. So what I'm getting at is, again, I know I'm full circle here, coming back to the 0086 3186. That should have been the cost of BCHG according to what Grayscale has their thing at, but it was at a premium. And I knew that it was at an insane premium, but I feel like the math checks out, man. And the more I'm thinking this, the more I'm like, damn, this is actually exactly correct. But maybe I'm wrong, man. It should have been worth $3.14. When Bitcoin Cash was worth $349, it should have been worth $3 and what was it? $3.04 or 1.4 cents. So actually a little bit lower than that. Come on now. Something like that, right around there. Which would have meant that the premium was up 18x. It's an 18x premium. Is that right? Ethan Gallstead, if you're watching this, man, can you confirm? Can anybody who's got a mathematical mind, can you tell me where I'm going wrong if I'm going? Because that just sounds insane to me. But I knew that they had insane, but I thought it was like a 2 or a 4x premium. But like that was like, it's like an 18x premium. So what I'm getting at now, full circle. If the math adds up, if I'm doing my math right, and I think I am, I very much do think I am. But if the math adds up, then that would mean if Bitcoin Cash does a 20x, you know, by the time Bitcoin Cash does a 20x, this thing could do like way more than that, right? Like way more than value. I'm trying to say 17x, right? So like if Bitcoin Cash was to do a 20x and this thing followed Bitcoin Cash to a T, okay, we did a 20x from here, that would be right here, okay? Like spot on, no extra value, no premium, no whatever. Like at the price that it's at now, if Bitcoin Cash went up 20x and BCHG went up 20x with it, right there, and it might already be at a premium. I don't know. I'm not doing the math right now. I don't think it is. I'm pretty sure it's not at a premium. If this number was when Bitcoin Cash, or no, it must be at a premium. Yes, it must be at a little bit of a premium actually. Sorry. But anyways, 20x here. Just bear with me. Then, oh no, let me get that line back. Then if it was to do an 18x from there, I mean, that would be like basically all the way up at this 1618. Thus making this a very real possible price by the end of the cycle. And I know, man, that's a lot of numbers. It makes my brain hurt, and I love math, man. But am I missing something? Was it actually an 18x premium last cycle? Like, is that what? Because I didn't know BCHG existed until this past year, until I watched Ethan Gallstead's videos. You know, I knew about LTCN, I knew about GBTC, I knew about the Ether Grayscale Trust. I didn't know BCH had one. I didn't know about all these other ones that had one, but I think I'm doing my math right, man. And it's making me just kind of like mind blown right now that you can see an 18x premium, because I'm fairly positive if you want to find the price of what the grayscale trust should have been, if you've got this number of Bitcoin cashes per share, that means you multiply that times the price of Bitcoin Cash, and that should be your price per share of BCHG. But whenever you compared that price, which was like $3 and something, and then you saw the price of BCHG being worth 55, like that means that it's at an 18x premium. So long story short, all that to say, whether you understand it or not, what I'm saying, and maybe I don't understand, maybe I'm doing the math wrong because it just sounds crazy, but I'm fairly positive I'm doing it right. Correct me if I'm wrong, anybody who's a mathematical mind out there, but this number just became a whole lot more realistic. Like a whole lot more realistic, man. Because I think BCH is going to do more than a 20x from here, right? Basing it off of what it did last cycle where BCHG topped out well before BCH did. If BCH does a 20x, which is going to be well before where it tops off, because I think BCH can do a 100x from its current price, maybe not 100x, but an 80x and 90x. A 20x would definitely be well before its topping point. At a 20x from here, that would put it here, with leaving the door open to even potentially going higher, like to insane numbers. Like, I don't know, man. I don't know. It's crazy. I said that I would do some TA on top of that. So if you stuck around for the crazy, potentially wrong math that I don't think is wrong, because it makes sense to me. It didn't make sense at first when I saw the numbers. It was like one of those things that I'm like, am I wrong? It was like, I gotta be wrong, but I'm like doing some critical thinking in my head, and I'm fairly positive that's right. Like everything, I think I've done the math right. But somebody correct me if I'm missing something. If I'm putting a number that doesn't belong there or something. Like, please, somebody who maybe I'm just having a brain fart, because I do pride myself on my math, but maybe I'm missing something. But I don't think I am. BCHG probably goes down. Probably does. It probably goes down to around $1.90, below $2. Again, guys. If the price targets are down here, have your buy orders set already. Don't try to catch the absolute bottom, which could be $1.60, could be $1.70, it could be $1.78 on the dot. Maybe you do, which it's very uncommon, but maybe you do find your low in between the 236 and the 382. Maybe you do. From the relative fib from low to high here, you've got your 618 right there at about $2.03. If I was looking to buy BCHG, I would probably buy it above $2 personally. But there are price targets below $1.80. But wouldn't it suck if you missed out by 20 cents on something that could go up as much as we just discussed? LTCN here, looking bearish, man. Yeah, looking like you want to go down more on the daily. Looking bearish. Yeah, you're probably going to see more immediate downside for sure. And I'm very confident actually that LTCN does go below $5. I'm very confident in that. Probably below $5, but not too much below it. I don't know if you go to $4. It is possible, but I think right around $5, but just below it is where I think you're going. So that's LTCN. I don't know, man. If I confused people, if I bored you, I'm sorry. This stuff is kind of like just like poof to me, So, but again, somebody correct me if I'm wrong. I think my math checks out, but that's all I got for you. So if you like the video, hit that like button, subscribe to see more. Thank you all for coming. Bye-bye.